Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kitty. In this video, I'm going to talk about a date night gone wrong. So if you guys are interested, please keep watching. So I met this guy and we started talking and we hit it off right away. It's very rare that I find like a native guy that knows how to carry a conversation and talk to you and just that is smart and knows what to talk about, and you know, it's not the same boring close-end conversations, you know what I mean? So that was like, okay, I'm listening. And then he just seemed to have a good head on his shoulder and have a good job and was like very athletic and very good looking. So I'm like, who sent you? Oh yeah, we just hit it off right away. And he right away, like, he wanted to meet. He wanted my number, so I gave him my number with texts, and he would check in on me like during the day. And like, I like that. I like the attention. As females like attention. Like, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want someone, you know, how's your day? What are you doing? Did you eat? What did you eat? You know, like that kind of stuff. And anyway, I was like, this guy, I don't know, this guy might be different. And I'm not sure if I mentioned he's native, so that's just very rare, like, that I run into somebody like that. And he wanted to meet me, like, he kept wanting to meet me, and usually it's the other way around. Usually I'm the one who has to initiate it. And so last night I was like, okay, because he kept wanting to meet, and I kept feeling bad. Like, I don't want to keep blowing him off, you know, because I am busy. I always tell guys, like, I'm busy and I may come off busy, but for the right person, I will make time. He was really trying and really showing effort, and just, we were hitting it off. So I was like, okay, I'll bite, and let me put my kids to sleep and we're gonna go meet somewhere. And you know, you want to meet me, so, you know, because he wanted to talk in person. So I was like, okay. I didn't get done up. I was just like this, actually, but like my hair was down and I was dressed okay. I was dressed casual because it was late. I wasn't trying to get done up right away and do a whole face full of makeup. I went and I told him to meet me at a bar in the area, and I gave him the address, and he said, I'm here. So I was like, okay, I'm on my way. I went over there and I was like, where are you at? What are you driving? And he told me, and I was like, I don't see you anywhere. I'm on the south side of the building. Where are you at? He's like, I'm on the north side. So I was like, let me come around. I was like, I don't see you. Are you sure you're at the right building? I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm at the, you know, at this apartment complex. I was like, dude, you're at the wrong area. I'm at a bar and you're at a complex. So where are you at? But anyway, he was next door. So I was like, okay, I'll come to you. And he was walking around like in the parking lot. He's like, what apartment are you? I was like, there is no way in hell I'm gonna let you come to my place on the first meet. No way. I don't know who does that, but I don't do that. I've never done that. And you gotta be one special ass person in order for you to be around my kids, let alone under the same roof as my kids, because I don't just bring anybody around my kids. So I ended up meeting him, and he was right next door and at some apartment complex. And I was like, okay, you know, like, I'll park by you and we can talk, you know. And he was like, oh, we're not going back to your place? I was like, no, we're not going back to my place. He's like, why? I was like, because I don't know you. I don't know who you see or whatever, but I don't do that. You're not coming around my kids. He's like, but they're sleeping. I was like, ew, no, we're sitting in my car. He was like, well, do you want to go in my car? I was like, nah, I'm comfortable right here. So if you want to talk to me, but it's my way or I'm gonna leave. And he's like, okay. We started talking, and I noticed his eyes are a little funny, like not normal. And he seemed to be feeling pretty good. And I was like, right away, bing, a light went off. And I'm just like, if there is a man that has to be under the influence of some kind of drug, because alcohol is considered a drug, to be able to spend time with me and talk to me or to get courage, then I don't want that. You know what I mean? So that was already the red flag. But I was seeing what he had to offer. And then I noticed his stories weren't adding up. And I said, he started talking about, yeah, I help her with the kids still and this and that. I'm like, whose kid? Is it her kid or is it your kid? And he was like, oh yeah, remember I told you that I don't have kids, but I do. I have one. And I was like, wait, you have a kid? He said you don't have a kid. And he was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, so you lied? He was like, no, I was like, no, you lied. I was like, who does that? What kind of parent denies their kid when they're being asked about their own flesh and blood? I was like, no, that's not cool. You know, like, I asked you if you had kids, and I was straight up, you know, that I have 2 boys. And then you said no, but then now that we meet in person, you're like, you know, you brought it up on your own. I didn't even have to ask you. So I was like, okay, that's another bing. Prior to meeting, I had asked them, how long have you been single? Or when was your last relationship? And he's like, 3 years ago. Okay? 3 years ago. Here we are in person. So how long did you say you were single again? Oh, it's been about 6 months. Bing! You said 3 years. And he's like, no, I meant we were together for 3 years, but we haven't been together for like 6 months. And I'm just sitting here like, just letting him talk about himself, because this guy likes to talk about himself, okay? And then I was like, what do you do for work? What do you do for your job? He starts going off, and this is how much I make. This is what I make an hour. Bing! And I'm just like, any person that brags about money or materialistic stuff, that is just not. I wasn't raised like that. I'm very humble. Hey, we're like at a 5-minute point and he's already spilled his guts out to me, and I'm just like, just letting him talk, and he's looking at me like, why are you all quiet? And then I look at him, and I was just looking at him, and he was like, what? And I was like, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Because you look like you're feeling kind of buzzed, or you're on something or something. And he was like, no, I'm fine, I just had some wine. And I was like, you drink wine? Why not liquor? Why not alcohol? And he's like, oh no, if I drink liquor, I'll get blacked out. I was like, bing! And he was just like, oh, so you don't drink? I was like, no. And he was like, oh, okay. So I was like, so yeah, I don't usually go for guys who drink. I just don't like it. I don't do it, and I don't do that anymore. So I just don't like it no more. And so he was like, oh, so what are you saying? I was like, so I'm just kind of saying I don't think this is the right fit for me, and it was nice meeting you, but I think I'm gonna head out. And he was like, really? So after this, am I gonna still call you or text you? I was like, probably not. And then he got like, bing! You could tell he got mad, and he was like, oh, okay, well, you have a good night. And like, just being a poor sport, and it's just too many red flags all at one time. And he was like, okay, well, this is the last time I guess I'm gonna talk to you then, since, you know, you already told me. So I was like, okay, bye. And he got out and went in his car. Like, he could tell he was upset. He wasn't like pissed off, but you could tell he was upset. I took off, and I went around the block, and then I came around. And on my way home, he was, because we were by the light rail in Mesa, like it was on Main Street, and there's only one way. You have to go all the way around if you're gonna get onto the other lane that's going opposite. And I was on the other side of the train tracks, and I was going home. Let's say I was heading west, and in order for him to get back onto the main freeway, he would have to come out, go take a right, make a U-turn, and then go left onto the freeway. I already made that U-turn, and I was already going left. So I looked over there to see if he was still there, and I kid you not, his freaking ride was on the train tracks, right in the middle. His ride was right there. And I looked over there, and I was like, that guy was shit-faced. And I kept driving, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And then I pulled over, and then I called 911 because I was thinking, like, what if a train hits him? Or, like, what if he, like, we have to keep drunk drivers off the road. And I'm guilty of drunk driving in the past. I am. I'll be the first one to tell you. And it's not good. Don't ever do that, okay? Because no matter how good of a drinker you are, you're still intoxicated and your judgment is still impaired. I left, but I was like very disgusted. Like, he's not my responsibility. He's a grown-ass man. He should have known not to drink and drive. So I left. So when I saw him on the train track, I was like, okay, he must have been pretty effed up, okay? And so I was like, what do I do? And then I pulled over and I called 911. I was like, there's a car on the train track. You know, the guy looks intoxicated. Maybe you should tell somebody because there's a train coming and I don't want him to get smashed, you know. And then by this time, I was in Tempe, and they're like, okay, well, where's this at? It's in Mesa. Okay, well, let me transfer you to Mesa PD. And I was like, so I hung up and I turned around and went that way because I'm just the caring person in me wants to make sure you're okay, even though you're stupid and I'm probably never gonna see you again. But I care, okay? That's just me. I want to go home with a good conscience. I want to go home knowing that even though you were a shitty date, I wanna know that you got home safe. And so I turned around to make sure he was okay, and then by that time Mesa called me and was like, you reported, you know, a car on the train tracks. Are you in Mesa now? I see that you're going back into that area. I was like, yeah. And then I looked and I was like, the car is not there. And they're like, it's not there. I was like, no. They're like, can you see where it was at? I was like, yeah. I was on my way home and I know where I saw that car, and that car is not there. It's gone. And they're like, okay. I was like, well, if the car's not there, I have nothing to report now. So I said, I was just trying to call because on my way back toward Tempe, there was a train coming, and I just thought, you know, there was going to be a collision, but the car is gone, so there's nothing for me to report, and I'm just going to hang up. So I hung up. Oh my God. Like, I dodged a major bullet. And so I just went home and I was just like, what do you do? Like, that's just like that's just crazy. And I was like, man, I have to tell this story because not only was it a pretty bad date, but I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I just don't know. What I find, though, and what is very sad, is that a lot of natives like to drink. A lot of natives don't know how to control their alcohol intake. A lot of natives are stuck with addictions to drugs, especially alcohol. And I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not perfect. I have a history with drinking, and I told you guys that. I'm straight up. But I don't do that no more because of that main reason. I don't want to be another statistic. I don't want my kids to see me like that. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to have to be, you know, constantly trying to cure my hangover or blowing thousands of dollars a month on drinking and going out and partying. Like, that's just not me anymore. And I don't want that in my life at all. And so I'm not trying to say, you know, I'm perfect or I'm better than anybody. I just know how it is to be in that situation. And I feel sorry for that guy that is obviously addicted to alcohol and has alcohol issues. But it's just sad because in my dating world, in my dating life, I see that all the time. And it's so easy for people to say, why don't you just date a non-native? I like native guys. I want a native man. I want, you know, possibly one more child. I want a native baby, you know. And I don't know if that's racist or what. I just prefer a native man. Like, I want a native man. I know there's a good native man out there. I know there's a good native man out there. I know there has to be. But I just haven't found him yet. And I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to be patient about it. Because I just feel on the real that I relate to native people more just because our background, just res things. Natives only get res things. Res upbringing is a universal thing amongst Native Americans. It doesn't matter what tribe. And so I feel like I just relate to Native Americans, and so I feel like it's easier for me to get along with the Native American, whereas other persons, they don't get it, you know? They just don't get me. They don't get my humor. And so that's the reason why I stay looking for a Native man. But I think there's one out there. I'm patient though, because I know that good things aren't gonna come to you like right away, you know? But this is just one of the many stories that I have. I just don't like drinking, and that's just not for me anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!